Oh, yeah.
In February 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, some 1,300 sanitation workers, members of Local 1733 of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, began a strike.
Strike!
This wasn't an ordinary strike. We forged together a coalition of the religious community, the civil rights community, and the labor movement. It was a struggle for freedom, for dignity, for decency, for equality.
Boo!
Back in those days, we had to do this to live. The treatment that we were getting. Sometimes I just feel like tears are coming my eyes.
Tears.
And we just got tired. We had meeting and discussed it and said, we're going to do something about it. Said there ain't but one thing to do, is just to make our move. And you know, a man has got to have a strong mind to go out in the street, leave his job, and go out in the street.
We felt like we would have to let the city know that because we were sanitation workers, we were human beings. The signs that we were carrying said that I am a man. Then we was going to demand to have the same dignity and the same courtesy any other citizen of Memphis has.
Boo.
We are saying that we are determined to be men. We are saying that we are God's children.
Liar, using God.
After a few days, we found that the strike was more than just a recognition and economic strike. It was a social struggle in this society. We talked, they didn't listen. Management and the establishment here wanted no relationship with unions whatsoever.
Good.
The mayor particularly got completely hung up on this one issue, as that he was not going to recognize the existence of public unions.
Issue.
When a public official
This guy's evil.
orders a group of men to get back to work and then we'll talk,
That's right.
and treats them as though they are not men, that's a racist point of view.
Be quiet.
And no matter how you dress it up in terms of whether or not a union can organize, it's still racism. For at the heart of racism is the idea that a man is not a man.
We thought we had
Evil
reached
liar.
an understanding during a meeting of the Public Works Committee. The council will meet tomorrow.
Committee Chairman Fred Davis gave us a promise.
That the council recognize the union and that there'll be some form of dues checkoff for the union.
Dues.
We were told to meet with the council. When we got there, one of the most crude
Union dues. I say boo to union dues. Let us unionize and be communist socialists or you're racist. Was there anything else that was in this thing? That
frauds in the many years I've represented working people took place.
When they told me there'd be an honest council meeting today, and you and I would have a chance to talk to this council, I regret I believed them. They lied to me and they lied to you.
Wow. Wow.
We decided to march to the Claiborne Temple. And as soon as we got out there, some of the police officers, not all of them, began hassling some of our folks. And I remember intervening and promised them faithfully that these men did not believe in violence, that the union did not believe in violence.
Yeah, right.
We started a march, and we moved down there, and police cars we used to harass us and push us around. And
Harass?
This was a turning point.
I don't know who it was. Somebody hollered and said, break it up. And they just broke right on us. And honest folk God in heaven. And they sprayed so much of that stuff down my collar until I could feel it look like running down my back.
My eyes, they shot this stuff in both my eyes. Couldn't see nothing.
We built it. You should have been getting back to work. The evil unions are not about workers and working. They're about, generally, by and large, anger and bitterness and Crimea River stuff.
Into our planning,
I don't care about your mess. There was something else that I wanted to mention. I think it was in this one. They talked about how the couple of guys got crushed. So here's the part of the story that makes you sad.
Today in the Daily Dose, the Memphis sanitation strike.
So listen to this.
Working long hours in every kind of weather, all for a lowly 65 cents an hour, or $5.62 in today's currency.
That's not bad.
When 2 Memphis sanitation workers were crushed to death by a faulty garbage truck compactor.
Terrible.
1,300 Memphis sanitation workers walked off their jobs when city officials refused to provide compensation to the deceased workers' families. On February 23, 1968, after Memphis Mayor Henry Loeb refused all concessions to the striking workers, police assaulted peaceful protesters with tear gas, prompting Nashville professor and civil rights activist Reverend James Lawson to call on his friend Martin Luther King Jr. with the hope of drawing attention to the strikers' plight. Building on MLK's Poor People's Campaign, which advocated for underprivileged Americans. On March 18th of that same year, King addressed a crowd of some 25,000 people about the dignity of labor by saying, "Whenever you are engaged in work that serves humanity, and it is for the building of humanity, it has dignity and it has worth."
Yeah, so don't be trying to get your dignity.
Later, King returned to Memphis for another I Am a Man protest.
Which
led to the death of an African-American teenager when an outside group infiltrated the Sanitation Workers' March.
Oh, blame it on outside groups.
King would return to Memphis on April 3rd, delivering his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech, which proved to be a tragic foreshadowing of his assassination the following day.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens.
Is that JFK?
And people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
So that's when they, I guess it's all around the time that they, that all stuff happened, you know? Crazy, huh? What a mess. So that's what went down with the evil I Am a Man stuff. I remember seeing that. I'm like, yeah, they are men. But I'm like, wait, we already knew you were men. Or they already knew you were men. It's kind of like, oh, evil MLK talking about judging by content of character and something. When in reality, they already were being judged by the content of their character or not. By and large, you know? It's just like the evil Black Lives Matter. Hey, whites, Black Lives Matter. Which is a lie because they're pretending that the whites are not the ones who don't know, are the ones who, hey, what's up, modern day debate? Somebody tagging him. Hey. Yes, like the video, otherwise you become a beta. Whites already knew that Black Lives Matter. The blacks are the ones who don't know that Black Lives Matter. They're the ones throwing away their lives and each other's lives and other whites people's lives and Asians and old people and young people. Wasn't he killed by another black man? I think that was Malcolm X. I forgot who shot MLK. I disavow it. There is one thing I disagree with Mark from Los Angeles on. I think I remember hearing him say that MLK was brought to justice. No, that's not justice, man. Because think about it. If it were justice, justice would have continued. You know, it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have brought about more evil. His death was used for more evil. Just like the gay bashers. You know the gay bashers? The gay bashers, you ever heard of gay bashers? It was popular, I guess, at one point on some form. I don't know how popular. But people went gay bashing. That became propaganda to push the gay agenda. Just like Anchor Bay was covering the anti-PDF file stuff, how they're abusing the alleged PDF files. They being whoever's on this self-righteous anti-PDF file slapping them and stuff or exposing them. There's all this kick is promoting it. It's promoting, it's signal boosting it, and it's fighting hate with hate, fighting evil with evil. So I would disagree that this MLK assassination was justice. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't mean it in that way.